Well, I hope now. I think now it's ready. Hello. Yes, this is Mary Ken here, and I like to talk about. I like to explain about a lot of things. It is necessary to understand that. Well, this has the title "The Fight Against Windmills," and maybe you know some guys who are against something. They don't want that, and they don't want that. No, the politic is rotten. Remember the garbage we have here, the dust, what have we here, what we do in the cruelty here, but among the human beings. Yes, that is true. That is bad enough and sad enough. And I'm completely with you. That is something we have to change. Agree. But that's the end of our agreement, because when when I start to fight against something, then I will produce exactly that kind of energy, when I fight against that, I mean, which is necessary for the windmills to start to work, to roll on and to produce the wind. Don Quixote was fighting against windmills, remember? They fight against windmills. But while they're fighting, they produce the wind which one is needed that they start to produce anything or something. Okay? So what we have to do now, that is a bit difficult and tricky to explain. At first, I try always to say, mind your vibration, mind your thoughts. It is so unbelievable necessary that we start to understand that. Why? Because our thoughts produce a kind of vibration. And not only a kind of vibration, it produces a vibration. Now, a vibration is needed to build up something. Anything, everything. A government, a state, needs vibrations from the whole population to work. Maybe they don't know that. Maybe they don't understand that. I doubt that Donald Trump knows that. Or Putin. Or Kim Jong. Over here. But Kim Jong is actually a good example. Huh? The people are somehow in a very, very special way. And that makes it possible for Kim Jong to exist and to rule the whole government. And the same here in Germany. A whole nation produces a kind of vibration, and in the peak we have Angela Merkel, and she actually rules the whole government. And she really does. And she does it well, I think. That's my opinion. And so in any nation, we have a we have a mass of people who are created very eagerly, the vibration in what their state can exist. That is the first point. The second one is now, what about physics, mathematics, chemistry, and everything else? Practically the same. Look at the period table. The period table is here very important. In every period table, we have elements, a lot of elements. And this kind of elements have really some identifications, you can say. You can say this element works like that, and this element works like that. One is furious, one is very calm, one is very, very frozen, one is very, very difficult and tricky to move. And so actually are the humankind as well. We can say any element has an adjective, and this adjective fit together. And when they fit together, they start to work. People are the same. Anyone has some adjectives. He's maybe calm, maybe he is very furious as well, maybe he is very, very, let's say, a bit thick and thinking, sometimes very, very vivid, a bit like Mercury. So people are practically never the same. They choose to be something. And we do. And now it's a question, what kind of choice you have made? What are you? What you want to live? It is your decision. So please go and start to say, I want to be like that and I want to be like that. That is something what I live, that is something what I am, and that is what I want to express. While you're doing so, we can notice that no one really say, I want to be cruel. I don't want to be a criminal. I don't want to be a thief. I don't want that. But a lot of people act a bit like that without knowing that they're doing, because they don't think about themselves or because they thought maybe no one catch them. Particularly the prisons here in Germany are full of people because they believe that no one will catch them. You see, in some other nations it is more tricky. I want to tell you that you create your life by your thoughts, because your thoughts express something. Your thoughts express a special energy, and this special energy will build up your life. Hence, it is so horrible and necessary that you think with something which is higher than you. Now, practically no one of us is ready to think, okay, very good, I produce high vibrations and I'm practically holy. No one can really demand that for themselves, or can say, hey, that's mine, claim that. Nobody can claim that still. But we come to that. Never, doesn't matter where you are now. You come to this point. To make sure that you get this point, you have a higher idea from yourself, a higher version from yourself. And this higher version from yourself will take care that you really reach that, certainly. You understand that is a guarantee. What was given to you long before you was born. So you can believe, no matter what kind of errors you made beforehand, and I say no matter at all, you always have the chance to turn around and go in another direction. For that, you need your Holy Spirit. You see, your Holy Spirit. And this Holy Spirit is practically very independent from any religion at all. It is not necessary to believe in God or to an Allah or to somebody else. It is not necessary. That is honestly, that is rather a blockade, because you always, when you start a kind of believer, then you have a list of rules you have to do and to fulfill, which is actually wrong. It's nonsense. Obviously, somebody else tell you you have to do that, otherwise God will not love you. That is nonsense. Who is he that he knows that? It's practically unbelievable superfluous. So go to your Holy Spirit and ask him, join me. Please come. I know that nowadays I am not finished, not at all. But come later, come now, that I can be finished practically later. That's the point. And that's a guarantee you have. Because the Holy Spirit it is forbidden for him to let you down. Why? Because the Holy Spirit is was on exactly the same point a bit earlier, maybe 2 years earlier, or 2 centuries earlier, where you are now. Where you are now, he was yesterday. So you can believe me, he makes the same mistakes. And that's because he knows so well how you can manage that. And you will manage that. Why? When you fall down, he also will fall, because then the whole chain is broken. And then the whole chain is broken, it's not good for anything. Okay? You are practically a part in the chain. And this part is much too important as that anyone can dare to let it down. That is your guarantee, which you are given, which given for you, which has been given to you long before you have been born. Well, I hope that is understand. And that, oh, by the way, that's for our friends in science. It's a very interesting question. Huh? Time. Time is really interesting. Huh? What I said before, where you are now, your Holy Spirit has been yesterday. So actually, the same doings what you're doing now, he was doing 2 days ago. So you can believe me. This guy, your higher spirit or your Holy Spirit, can go back and look at that perfectly unaffected by that what you're doing and feel now, because he knows you come over it, and he would not butt in so much that he will join with you. That is impossible. So we stand beside, but he will always guide you to go out of the dungeons. Okay, I hope that was understandable, and I learned much more English, I promise.